Hi, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel, La Bricoleuse. Let's talk about stretching hats, specifically felt hats, like this fedora. Blocked felt hats can be easily resized, especially if you have the right equipment. In this video, I'll show several methods and tools you can use to do this, as well as a couple of hacks to use at home.
A theatrical millinery studio or a hat shop with a steady resizing trade usually has an electric stretcher like this one pictured here. I'll demonstrate how it works. The equipment has a metal head shape that is heated by the electric circuit, and as you turn the crank at the left, the two hemispheres of that block stretch open. This sizing gauge and indicator needle allow the operator to ensure that the hat is stretched to the desired size. Turn the stretcher on with this switch, and the metal hemispheres will begin to heat up. A couple of safety precautions to be aware of. The two halves of the metal block get fairly hot, so once you've turned it on, don't touch them with your bare hands. And don't squish your finger in between those two blocks when you close the stretcher. You can use this tool to stretch all different styles of felt hats. First, prepare the hat for stretching by removing the decorative band on the outside and the functional ribbon or leather sweatband on the inside. Use a hat steamer if you have one, but because the tool heats on its own, you can just use a water mister and spray the inside and the outside of the hat's crown before you put it on the stretcher. Here I'm preparing to stretch this bowler hat. You can tell the equipment is on by the red indicator light, which means that the elements have begun to heat up, and I've put out the warning sign so that my coworkers will know that the tool has been heating. Remember how quickly I turned to this crank when I was just demonstrating how the equipment worked? A felt hat provides a certain amount of resistance to the turning of the crank as you stretch it. I set a 5-minute timer so that if I walk away to do something else, I won't forget to come back and turn off the stretcher when it's done. Even after I remove the stretched hat, the tool remains hot, so I leave the warning sign out until it has fully cooled. I'm making this video in August of 2021, and right now you can buy this model of hat stretcher from Manhat Co. in the US for around $650.
But what if you don't want to spend that kind of money on this specialized equipment? Here are some cheaper alternatives and hacks for stretching hats.
This is an old school manual hat stretcher that sells for between $15 and $50 on eBay, Etsy, and other marketplaces. To use this one, prepare the hat for stretching the same way by removing the band and interior grosgrain. And since this tool doesn't heat up, you'll need to steam the felt. You can use a tea kettle or a clothing steamer if you don't have a fancy hat steamer. Adjust the tool so it fits snugly inside the head size opening of your hat, and then turn the barrel as much as you need to stretch it based on the measurement of the distance between the two wooden pieces. Once the felt has cooled to room temperature and the steam has evaporated, you can reduce the tension of the stretcher by unscrewing the barrel and gently sliding it out of the head size opening of your hat.
Is there an option that doesn't require any special tool?
If your studio has a full range of crown blocks in 1/2-inch measurement increments, you can steam the hat and pull the crown over the next larger size block. And if you don't have the right size block to stretch the hat over, take a tape measure to the market and find a watermelon of the proper circumference to stretch the hat on. This is my favorite option when I'm working out of my home studio because it's a great excuse to make watermelon punch afterwards.